guys, Fearless and welcome back to Zero Escape's first game, 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. At the end of the last episode, we found 2 doors with the number 9 on. And it turns out that Zero had planned it that all 9 of us could get out alive, going into 2 teams through the doors. Obviously, the 9th man died. But anyway, Santa is asking us, so...
What are we going to do, Junpei? Huh? Oh, right. Hey, keep it together, man. Sorry. Jeez. So what do we do? What do you... We need to think about our next step. Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6. The 4 of us can't open the number 9 door. The 4? Wait, don't tell me. Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
If it could be possible for the rest to come here, why is Santa now saying, well, 3 of us can go through a door? Because the rest could come soon and then we can figure something out.
What now? No, we gotta go back. Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
Are you sure?
No, I'm fine leaving her behind, to be fair. Her and Lotus can totally stay behind. I'm fine with that.
I don't mind staying.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
It kind of seems a bit weird that Santa's... I'm going to say, like, open to her. But he never seems like the friendly of people, so it's a bit weird that he's like, no, we're not leaving you, instead of now caring about himself. When we went through door 3 on the previous route, he was totally fine leaving Lotus and Clover behind. Why isn't he wanting to leave June?
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest.
Oh.
Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
Maybe.
Are you sure you don't mean Atlantis?
He could mean either, to be fair. He might just end up on a beach somewhere.
Huh? Oh, right.
You guys.
Very well. Best we head back to C deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier. Perhaps Clover, 7, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
But even with all 7 of us...
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree?
You might as well figure out the combinations of those numbers first. Have a bit of a plan before you get to them.
Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
I guess you're right.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Come to think of it, what is this room? We were so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around. Huh.
Well, it says it's a chapel, but I don't understand what the importance of that would be.
It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony.
Are we getting married? Should have told me earlier. Oh, June, you hid it from me. That's why I've been acting weird all day. Night.
But what kind?
Oh. It's not as positive as maybe it's my funeral. No.
Huh. A coffin.
Got like a keypad on front of it, though, outside of it.
What on earth is a coffin doing in a place like this?
Hey, Junpei, the hell are you doing? Let's move. Right, okay. I'll be right there.
Oh. Do we have a map for this floor? Because then I'm calling it a floor, it's a deck. But because then it'd be interesting to see where those doors could actually lead to.
Look, it's 7 and Lotus.
Okay, where's Clover?
We've got a problem.
Oh, sounds like we do.
Clover is gone.
Or like ran off. Or did you lose her while doing the door?
What? What do you mean, gone? When?
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Yeah, we went through the door together.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
Huh.
But like if they went through the door together, well, did they come out with her or did she just run off after? Because if they'd got the door open to leave, you don't leave without her.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And shut the door.
She must have blocked it with something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't come out.
Then I get like you go check the door after you finish, but you'd still need like everyone to go out. I don't know, you go out without her.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
So I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
There was a door on the other wall.
And it was open.
We definitely need a map.
We figure she opened the door and left by herself.
We ran after her, of course, but
Well, obviously we didn't find her. You figured that much out.
Clover's gone.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
Thank you. It was intentional.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
If there was another door in that room and it was open, wouldn't you go through that instead of like your main exit? Does that take you to the closest to where she was?
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover.
Separating's always a fun plan.
We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah. She's not here.
No, she isn't.
We didn't do a great job at separating. Why are you with me?
There's no sign of her. Let's go. All right, I'm thinking we should probably split up.
Thought we already had.
I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
All right, that sounds good.
Yep, B for bye.
But,
No, just leave. We don't need any buys. Except the one I already gave you. If you go, toodles. Oh, guess that one too.
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
I knew she'd blush again. She's terrible.
Huh? Sure, right. I'll do that.
Of course, there's a bit obsessed now, and she's naturally doing my head in more than she already was. Yep, throw her in there.
Jumpy.
No, it's nothing.
All right, I'm going then.
Yeah, be careful, Connie.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Stop pushing.
Yeah, got it. Take care.
Treasure day always strikes when one least expects it. But to wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. Light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. That hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door, and there she was. The woman sat slouched against the wall. Lotus. Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Body was lame and his skin smooth and pale as always. It was covered in bright red blood. Is she missing a bracelet though? Because if she's missing it in both endings and someone really needed that 8. Junpei felt his chest constrict. Wouldn't breathe and his legs began to shake. Slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. Felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind went blank. All his thoughts were placed with endless hissing white. Driven by little more than instinct, began to walk towards Lotus, slowly. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to the corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There's no pulse. No rise and fall of breathing. She was slightly warm. Something somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind told him that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She'd been killed. Someone had killed her. A deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife then. Perhaps she'd been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. A little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or the backside of the mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically.
Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? To be fair though, if you go take a couple of bracelets and your number and theirs add up with the digital root of 9, you can be the sole person to get out. But it's a bit mean to kill them, you could just leave with them alive. If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining bracelet number 8. Who is that? This isn't one of those annoying situations where I can't figure it out. Because if we need a minimum of 3 and we have 8, there's still plenty of combinations to get the digital root of 9. I'm not even going to bother starting trying to figure out those numbers. Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? I thought I'd only just entered Junpei's mind when he heard a noise. Okay, so I'm guessing the decisions between your two ending options, it's based on how you answer a question, and obviously not a door. That was actually yesterday when I last played, and I can't remember what happened, to be fair. But I'm kind of glad we got this route instead of the other route, though if we end up dying here as well, and this is really depressing. Okay. And oh, nice, thanks. Sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. Struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. But if we have to die, and we've got 5, do 8 and 5 is 13, so that's 4. But then we can't do a 5 to get to the 9. So either we have to die because we're going to find them if we stay alive. Or maybe there's a couple of people working together and they'd need like 2 peoples to get to that number, as well as ours. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain, there was heat. Extreme heat as well. It felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He'd been stabbed. But where? Body was quickly going numb. Couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he'd most likely been stabbed in the back. Oh, yes, in more ways than one. You were stabbed in the back. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. Collapsed to the floor, a puppet with its strings cut. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing. He hid his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. The tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. Felt no emotions, not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that claimed his body had reached his mind. The killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, slammed into the elevator and was gone. Well, at least we can rule out Junpei, Lotus and 7 as being the killer, since the others were killed before we got there on the previous route. But it leaves 4 people. We just parted with June.
Gotta be careful.
So I don't think she'd have killed Lotus, but that doesn't mean to say she didn't kill us.
Trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back.
But I think we're currently looking towards Ace, Santa and Clover. Now, we know Clover just ran off, but I don't think she would have had anything to do with her brother's killing unless she really didn't like him. His eyesight began to fade. The world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably, I assume, inward. Soon it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There's nothing more. Into utter emptiness he fell. Into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end. Yeah, that wasn't a good end. That music is terrible. Like, I always makes me feel really breathless. Okay, trophy earned, cut and run. Not quite sure what that title means, but ooh, well, okay. So right, so we'll save that, and then we will go back to where we can make okay. So there's some sections down this. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why that one's locked, but okay. And then I think maybe because this one's got locks on it, this one as a whole is more of a true ending than the left side. But since that's locked, I think that means I've got to go from here. So I'm gonna go from here, and then I'll skip ahead in the edit to hopefully the other ending on this route. Okay. Outside the room. Leave no one behind. A missing Clover. Okay. Right, well, I said, I think I'm going to have to go from here. Yeah, I'm quite sure what'll get us to the
Long
other
hallway,
exit.
huh?
Unless it's a decision we make earlier back than that would affect which ending we got. So we wouldn't be able to start on the next one because we'd have already made the decision.
Let's check it out.
Still took me down the same side. How do I get down? Okay. This irritating, I guess. So I have to do a little digging online because I actually don't have all day to try and figure out how to do that other ending. I'm now going to have to redo this room, and it'll get me to that ending, hopefully. Okay, so now I've done that, I have to go to okay, this one, the safe. The safe. It's a safe. Safe, huh? Yeah, because it's open. Yes, strange that we didn't need to open this to achieve our goal. Think it's important? Wonder what's in there. Therefore the dialogue on it won't be able to open it until we know the right numbers. Let's just leave this alone for now and move on. So, now that we've done that, we will leave. So now we've completed that, we can then okay, we'll go through door 8. Now we've gone through that door, we should be fine going 6. So hopefully, since we've gone through the 5, we've got the safe, and then we went through 8, and now we've gone into 6. I'm hoping I can just skip back to here.
Not here.
Nope, still going that way. Okay, so now I did the safe in the first class cabin. And I'm going to go down to here. I think. Oh, I'm just the first class. Subway. We'll go to computer.
Oh, that worked.
We'll see this conversation here.
What? Huh? It's running on its own?
It certainly looks like it.
Isn't that kinda weird?
What?
Well, it's not connected to the main computer, right? There's just this keyboard and monitor. The only cable connected to this thing is the power cable we just plugged in. So, why is it working?
Maybe it's a wireless display.
A wireless display?
Yes, it connects to your computer wirelessly, hence the name. Have you been living in a cave, Junpei?
Is that normal?
Yes, at least where I worked.
Oh.
Oh, it stopped.
Pass with a colon.
Looks like we need to enter a password.
Again? There must be a hint around here somewhere.
Could you go take a look?
Yeah, I'm on it. What are you going to do?
I'll see if I can do something about this on my own.
On your own?
Yep, on my own.
Lotus?
All right. Let's kick some ass.
It won't let me open the flashlight.
Wait, what?
Didn't expect that, did you?
Of course I didn't! You're typing so fast, I can't even see your fingers. What kind of job do you have? What are you?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Why?
Huh? Oh, it was just something.
I see.
Hmm.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... Well, the short version is that I just attack the thing head on. The long version? A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own. It's not the most elegant solution, certainly. But given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do. Oh, but back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display? It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it? How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 + 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No, not really.
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago. You're just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 + 1?
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Oh.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, really. It's just, I thought maybe, what if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain. See? Doesn't it sound the same? Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor. Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
The brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere else. That's just crazy talk.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia. If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all. He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
Huh.
I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight, too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
No. What is it?
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. Well, you've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same. Even though they've obviously got faces, it's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually, but you or I couldn't unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart. Well, that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed. And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
What about the other half?
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
It's nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
I don't have to kill time any longer.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got. Piece of cake.
The screen changed again. What the hell is that?
No idea. Looks like a puzzle.
Huh? Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
No, I can't do any more. It won't let me do any more programming. See? The keyboard. Nothing. So, there's nothing more I can do. Well, I guess I'll leave this to you then, Junpei.
What?
Let me take a break, all right? I did my part.
Well, I guess you're right. Thanks, Lotus.
No problem. And make sure you know when you should thank people.
Now, I better take care of this myself. No more relying on anyone else.
Okay, so now we'll do the locker one.
Hey, Junpei, do you have a minute?
What's up?
I wanted to ask you something.
Hmm?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right? Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh? Well, let me think. Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but...
So then you think you would know, even if that person didn't speak, he'd maybe be able to tell by the sound of the footsteps who it was still.
That's about it.
And he'd probably hear them coming too.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if, is Snake, was he born...
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm. The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
It's not that.
Okay. I've got those unlocked, so we can undo this one. Handle.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah. June's down over by there.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion. She gets dropped into some weird-ass shit, forced to play some messed-up game. If you think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
A guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know? You know, speaking of experiments, there was this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it.
Oh, lovely.
The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B.
That's a really horrible experiment, though.
Of course, like I said, it's electrified. Which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
And the rat is very distressed.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet.
I think I want to hear more.
See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
Huh?
Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Oh.
Okay then.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards. We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2, and so on.
Oh, I see.
Huh? What is it? Hey! June, are you okay? I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finish the box thing, alright? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you. Are you alright? What happened?
Can you stand?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
Just let me see for a sec.
Huh.
You're still warm.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know? Still, to fall down like that? I think she's probably still a little messed up.
All right, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Why is she blushing though?
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine. Medicine, huh? Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, of course he is.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think.
Yeah, saw that one.
Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature, a lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
I heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second class room. Remember how Snake, 7, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
Why is that so difficult for him?
What the hell is he doing? June, don't push yourself, all right?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
What are you doing? What happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures. I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia. Growing old is a difficult thing. At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out? But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
Prosopagnosia. Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia? Huh. Well, he looks depressed enough to have it. Oh well. Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle. Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2. I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9. Yeah! Oh, they opened! What the? 9 pins? I guess I'll take them with me.
So, well, it's got a lock on it, so I don't know exactly what difference that'll be. Yep, but at least it says it's unlocked now anyway, so hopefully it will give us the other way now then. But we will have to find out in the next episode because I'm going to leave this one here. So yeah, hopefully in the next episode we'll finally get that ending and then we can go back to door 1 and get those 2 endings. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.